So welcome back to our second lesson in our new Bundles of Hope series. Today we are going to be focusing on the truth that we can place our hope in the love that God has for us. So growing up, my absolute favorite person in the whole world was my papa. He was the epitome of a doting, loving grandfather. Involved in nearly every aspect of my life. That meant going to soccer games, picking me up from school, dance recital, plays, talent shows, you name it, he was there. And one of the things I loved most about him was that he just had to see his grandkids every day that he could. So he would find little reasons to stop by our house. Like, for instance, he would just show up at our door. Well, I had to go to the store, for this one item. And then while I was there, I just went ahead and got some treats for the kids. Thought I'd bring them by and have a visit. He loved my brothers and I and all of his grandchildren so much. In fact, he made me feel more loved than anyone else. And that's saying a lot because I have incredible parents and an amazing family in my life. He also had the cool cover at his house that he had put in just for his grandkids. And we spent basically our entire summers there every year. He had a huge deep freezer in his basement that he would fill up with popsicles and ice cream treats and just like a buffet of everyone's favorite things. His fridge, it was always stocked with a huge variety of different drinks because he wanted to make sure that every single person in the family had all of their favorite things. And if he didn't have your favorite thing or he heard that you liked something else, he would go out and get it right there on the spot. He lavished us in such abounding love, and it wasn't because he was expecting something in return. His love was totally free and without any conditions. Papa used to pick me up from kindergarten. When we were together, all I could see was his love. All I could see was my love for him and what we shared. I had no worries, no fears, total trust in him. And I looked to him to be my comfort and guide and my strength. He was simply amazing. And sadly, he passed away 13 years ago. He's sorely missed in our family. But his legacy continues to live on. Although I can't physically see him anymore, I know that the love he lavished on our family, it's still here. It influences why we do the things that we do as a family, the traditions that we have, the things that we celebrate, the stories that we tell. It's shaped us all into who we are today. And his loving legacy will continue to live on long past his days on this earth. So, my question for you today, have you ever experienced this type of love? Maybe you have a family member who's made you feel the way that my papa made me feel. Maybe you haven't experienced this type of love from another human, and that's okay. The good news is that we all have access to this extravagant love through Jesus Christ. In our scripture for today, which is Ephesians chapter 3, verses 16 through 19, Paul tells us this. I pray that out of he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power with all believers to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, that you may be filled to the measure of all fullness of God. So this passage is telling us that all believers are rooted and grounded in this reckless love. High schoolers, I want you to think back to the lesson that we did on the fall, the series that was all about the church and who makes up the church. And I want you to remember that the family of God includes everyone who has believed, who does believe, or who will believe. So all of us who are rooted in this love. These verses also tell us that Christ's love is wide, long, deep, and high. His love is wide because it reaches all over the world. His love is long because it lasts through every single day of our lives. His love is deep because it reaches the depths of our discouragement, our despair, and even death. And his love is high because it rises to the heights of our joy and our celebration and all of our mountaintop moments that we experience. No matter which way you turn in life, God's love is right there to catch you. When you walk through hard times, you have to remember that it is impossible for God to turn off his love for you. It's not a switch like a light that you can turn on and off. His love is constant, steady, and it's never going away. We all know that life isn't perfect. We certainly aren't perfect. And so because of that, we're going to find ourselves in the middle of messes. It's often our own sin that leads us away from the Lord and onto a slippery slope. We begin to fall and slip, and suddenly we just feel like we can't get back on our feet. We start to fall deeper and deeper away. Life feels more out of control. It's messier. And just as we are falling, when everything around us seems like a giant mess, God is right there. God's love is so wide, so radical, so reckless, that we get swallowed up by his goodness. Allow him to catch you. Think about a fisherman who casts a giant net in the sea, just waiting to catch the fish. Let him pull you up from the waters that you are drowning in, bring you back to the surface, and revive you back to life with his love. His love is never going away. It's never changing. It's never moving. The only thing that changes is us and how we react to his love. You see, we are often the ones that move away from it. And then we wonder why God feels so distant. So let's just take a second and do a little self-check on our own hearts. I want you to think, where are you today? Are you falling? Are you slipping? Do you feel like a snowball that keeps getting bigger and bigger as it rolls down an icy hill? Or are you caught up in his love? Are you in that place where everywhere you look around you, goodness, all you can focus on is his love? You feel safe and secure, knowing that you can fully trust him. The world is always crazy, but especially right now, it's full of so many unknowns. Literally, we don't know what the next day is going to bring. And during this time, you might feel worried or panicked, scared. You might even feel like God's love is so far away from you. But take heart. Take heart in knowing that God's love is being lavished on you even in this very moment. You see, no virus, no global pandemic, no economic disaster can steal his reckless love away from you. Nothing. So today, I want you to hold on to this. I want you to find hope. Hope that lies in God's abounding, limitless, unconditional, and beautiful love for you. I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to our discussion on Sunday.